The Mishnah in Masechet Megillah writes, הכל כשרים לקרוא את המגילה חוץ מחרש שוטה וקטן. And the Gemara says in Erechin, Hakol, when the Mishnah says everybody has an obligation to read the Megillah, what is it coming to include? So says the Gemara, it's coming to include Nashim. Even women are obligated equally to men to read the Megillah on Purim. And so does the Rambam rule that women have an equal obligation to men to read the Megillah on Purim, whether it's at night or in daytime. They both have an equal obligation. And the Gemara gives a reason to this, is because she'af hen hayu be'oto hanes. Even they were in the miracle of Purim. Rashi and Tosfot bring both two explanations. One explanation is that when Haman decreed on the Jewish people death, women were included. So they have to give thanks to Hashem for being redeemed from that terrible decree. So they equally have to give thanks like men. Rashi brings a further explanation. The main miracle was done through women. Miracle of Purim came about through Esther HaMalka. We call this Megillat Esther. It was a miracle which Hashem brought about with Esther's effort. And therefore, women here play a role, in fact, more than men to a certain degree. And that's why they've got an equal obligation to men to hear the Megillah. Now, the reason why I'm explaining this seems to be a bit obvious, that women have, we don't know any other opinion which shows that women don't have an obligation to read the Megillah. However, as far as making beracha, if someone is reading only to women, or if a woman has to read herself Megillah, here, even though the Shulchan Aruch seems to hold ikar, like the opinion which shows the women have an obligation, but it brings the Yesh Omrim, and there's an opinion brought in the Tosefta that women are exempt from Kriyat Megillah as it being time-bound. The Ravia explains that it's time-bound. Based on that, some question whether a woman can make a bracha on Megillah or not. But no doubt about it that they have an obligation to read the Megillah equally to men. The question is whether bracha should be recited if there's an only woman Megillah reading. For instance, if a man is reading for a woman, whether he should make bracha for them, or women themselves, if they're making a Megillah reading, they should make bracha prior to that. So because we hold of Hashash Safek Berachot Lehakel, and we are very concerned, and brachot do not obstruct the mitzvah from being fulfilled. So even if the mitzvah is done without a bracha, the mitzvah is fully fulfilled. It's ideal to make bracha, but since there's a doubt, we've got a rule, Safek Berachot Lehakel, we abstain from making bracha. I must mark that Chacham Ovadia Yosef does hold that you do make a bracha halacha lema'aseh. However, the Ben Ish Chai holds, because of Safek Berachot Lehakel, not to make bracha. I know the Psalmist tried to explain that the Ben Ish Chai holds not to make bracha because the woman cannot follow the Megillah properly. That is incorrect to say that on the Ben Ish Chai's view. Ben Ish Chai was fully aware that they are great women, and women know how to read, and they can understand what they're reading, and therefore that wasn't the issue. The issue was whether there was an obligation equally to men as far as a chiyuv kriyat Megillah, because of the Tosefta, which says Nashim and Androgynos and Tumtum and Katan, all Peturim Mimikra Megillah, seems to be they have a total exemption from reading Megillah. So even though Halacha Lema'aseh, we hold the women have an obligation, but when it comes to Beracha, since Berachot Yanam Me'akvot, do not interrupt the fulfillment of the mitzvah, we abstain from making Beracha for women. Should have a happy Purim.